Hello, Satnam, it's me, Shakti Sundari, just back with you today with another little reading from Daniel Odier's amazing tantric masterpiece of a book, Desire, the Tantric Path to Awakening. So I'm going to be reading a little bit from the book today about breath. That's why I've called this video, Breathing Your Way to Freedom. Yay. So as a yogi or a yogini, breath is fundamental to everything that I do and everything that I teach. And of course that translates perfectly over into the practice of Tantra, which is why in my Awakening Your Ecstatic Potential online courses, one of the first things that I teach is conscious breathing. So many people come to Tantra and they're tantalized by this notion of having amazing far out sex and thinking in terms of loads of different positions and massive orgasms and all of that. And so it can be a surprise when they hear me say, okay, well, let's learn to meditate and let's learn to breathe consciously. And they're like, how does that connect to being orgasmic? How does that connect to being ecstatic? How does that connect to being conscious? Well, it's fundamental. Like I put in my post yesterday, if you want to improve your sex life, your love life, if you just want to basically improve your life in any way, who's that? I can see someone's there. Hello. If you just want to improve your sex life, your life, anything in any way, learn to meditate, learn to love your body. And today I'm saying learn to breathe. I'm going to read what Daniel Odier has to say about the relationship between breath and consciousness. Okay, if presence to sensations, emotions and thoughts is to reach plenitude, everything must start with awareness of breath. Rather than devoting ourselves from the start to breathing exercises, so this is interesting, the Tantric masters advise us to become conscious of the manner in which we breathe. This one act of consciousness will calm and deepen the breath. There are never any new behaviors to apply because the masters believe that nothing deep can be developed and started from the unconscious. When we have become conscious of our way of breathing, we can allow the breath to find its proper place and its plenitude. Love that word. Hiya! Very progressively encouraging complete breathing, on the condition that the process be founded on the emergence of consciousness and not on the idea of doing, of applying a technique to obtain an effect. Nothing is done in Tantric Yoga to obtain some future gratification. On the contrary, it offers practices whose fruits are immediately present in the practice itself. In this way, we breathe solely to experience the profound harmony of breathing, nothing else. Wow, there's so much to talk about in that. It's so rich with wisdom, and I'm excited to talk about it. I kind of need my glasses on to read it, but I also want to look at you without my glasses on. Okay, so basically I'm going to go through it. If presence to sensations, emotions and thoughts is to reach plenitude, isn't that a gorgeous word, plenitude? It suggests so much abundance and richness. Everything must start with awareness of the breath. Okay, so whatever's going on for you, whatever's happening, just come back to your breath. How about if, as you're watching this video, you just see if you can listen and watch and be aware of your breath at the same time? that might be asking a lot. So the interesting thing here is that he makes it not about an act to attain a goal. And this is fundamental. And the other point I think is really important, and I've never actually seen someone say this before. I'm going to have to put my glasses back on. It's just easier for my eyes. So the Tantric masters believe that nothing deep can be developed starting from the unconscious. So there's no point doing any practice if you're not doing it with awareness. That throws a whole lot of stuff that we all do out out, really, because I noticed that I too, and many of us, when we're sort of doing these things, we can sit and pray, we can sit and chant, we can sit and meditate, we can do our ecstatic dance, blah, 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 blah. But if we're not really present and fully conscious of what's going on, perhaps that's why so many people spend years going to workshops and don't really transform, perhaps. So by simply becoming conscious of the breath as a first step, the bringing of awareness to the breath will immediately calm and deepen the breath. So we don't need to, although I do also teach many different pranayama techniques as part of Kundalini Yoga, and they are supremely powerful. What he's saying here is that before you get to the technique, first learn to become aware. First become conscious, because if you're not conscious, there's no point doing the technique. I like that. So once you're conscious, you're sensing, you're noticing, then you can begin to guide the breath into a deeper, fuller place with full awareness. So, but on the condition that the process is founded on the emergence of consciousness, as in being aware of what is happening and feeling in minute detail what is happening moment by moment, rather than, this is really important, doing a technique to obtain an effect. So again, so many people come to Tantra and they're like, you know, oh, teach me this technique so I can give my lover great orgasms. Teach me this technique so I can not ejaculate. And so much of everyday common garden sex is about getting to that peak moment and achieving a goal, right? And what Tantra is saying is it's not about the goal. It's about the now. It's about your presence in this moment with yourself and then with another. So it's not about trying to get anywhere. We're not trying to get off. We're not trying to have the biggest fucking orgasm in the world. We're not trying to do or get anything. We're simply actually letting go of all efforting and all striving and being. And that's the hardest thing, isn't it? Because the mind goes crazy. Somebody's written something there and I can't read it. So it's not about an effect. So nothing is done to obtain some future gratification. On the contrary, there are practices whose fruits are immediately present in the practice itself. I love that wisdom. It's just so helpful for so much. So it requires us to suspend judgment. It requires us to drop the ego mind. It requires us to stop thinking about what's happening. It requires us to stop wanting to make something happen. And I can speak from personal experience to this a little, well, quite a bit. What I have experienced personally is that every time I have been able to drop into that space of pure no mind, then the most profound experiences have happened. But it was not for looking for them or trying to make them happen. It was for simply surrendering fully to the practice I was invited into and just allowing whatever wanted to happen to happen. Breath. Breath is the start to, and the key to it all. So my invitation to you today is to just keep coming back to awareness of how you are breathing without trying to change it or fix it in any way, without trying to be this super yogi, this superhero yogi. Just keep coming back to an awareness of the breath and see what that does for your experience of the day. Breathing your way to freedom. That's it. Thank you for watching. Much love and Sat Nam. See you again tomorrow. Bye.